I'm here in the Northern Rivers of New South Wales in a small town called Burrinba. And I know this town really well because I grew up just over that hill in Mullumbimby. And I'm here to meet Debbie and Jim Allard and learn how they produce the tastiest milk for Norco. So Jim, we're here in Burrinba. I know this land well. I grew up just over the hill there in Maynarm. You know, tell me what is a day in the life for a dairy farmer? You know, what time you said you got up at 4 this morning?
4 o'clock, pretty busy. Yeah, it's just get the cows in, get the dairy ready, get the cows in, start milking, and then you got the calves, look after your calves, feed your calves, wash out. And then you have paddock work or fencing, or you got dry cows that you have to look at, keep an eye on, calving. It just never ends.
Yeah, but your product, Norco, it's almost everywhere now. Being a chef, you see the ice cream, you see the milk in every corner store. The cream of the Norco milk is it's uncomparable. And when you come down here and you see the lush green grass and the sunshine and the rain, is this part of how it produces such amazing milk?
Well, I think that's got something to do with it. It's management. You got to put it into the cow to get it back. It's all about looking after the animals.
Oh, they're very happy. You can tell. They come up, they're so inquisitive and sniff around, and everyone says that's the telltale sign of happy cows. I spend a lot of time with them, eh?
Yeah, well, my wife says we're the slaves, they're the queens. So that's pretty right. It takes good management. You've got to look after your cows. You have to give them the best food. We give them grain, hay, molasses, plus the pastures.
Yeah.
So we try and put back as much as we can. You get it back out of them. If you do the right thing, it works. You have to look after the animals, otherwise they're not going to look after you in the long run.
So, Jim, I understand Norco is a cooperative. Can you explain exactly what that means?
It actually means that Norco are 100% farmer-owned.
Oh, wow.
They have directors that are farmers that are on the company, so they understand how the business works, from the grassroots right through to the business end.
Yeah, wow.
The product. They have a say, in how it actually works and how it's going to actually happen. It's been, how long has Norco been going now? Since 1895, and they're still in business. So we've got to be doing something right.
Yeah, wow.
Cooperatives do work.
It's amazing, 100% farmer-owned. That's why it produces the tastiest milk, I guess.
There was one dessert that always blew my mind as a kid. It doesn't make sense, it shouldn't make sense, and it is the most delicious dessert you get at your local Chinese restaurant. It is, of course, deep-fried ice cream. It's one of my absolute favourites, so today I thought I'd show you how I make it. It actually works, but you do have to make sure you keep your ice cream as cold as possible, and you have to use the best possible ice cream. So I've got the Cape Byron Ultimate Vanilla here. It is just a beautiful ice cream. The cream and the milk for this ice cream comes from amazing Norco farmers that grow or raise amazing cattle and produce beautiful milk. All Australian-owned, all produced here in Australia, so we love this ice cream, and it's ice cream, so I can have a little taste to start with, right? Oh, this is going to make delicious deep-fried ice cream. So we need a nice big scoop to start out. And a nice round scoop onto a plate lined with some baking paper. I'm going to make 4 balls of ice cream here, so I do 4 big scoops. And it's kind of a recipe where you have to be a little bit organised, because you're going to scoop the ice cream, then put them back into your freezer just to get really firm before you crumb them and fry them. And that makes sure you get a nice crispy outside and a beautiful cold ice cream centre. If I'd behaved all week and done all my homework, this is my treat when we went out for Chinese on a Sunday afternoon as a family, and I've just always been fascinated by this dish ever since. So you can see our beautiful scoops of our vanilla ice cream into the freezer for 10 minutes just to set that ice cream ball nice and firm before we crumb it. Now, while our ice cream scoops freeze and become a little bit firmer, we're gonna make a really quick caramel. So pan on, and this is a little caramel to serve underneath our deep-fried ice cream, and then just some caster sugar into our pan. And the key with a good caramel, just spread your sugar into a nice even layer on the base of your pan. And then I just get a bit of paper towel. You can use a pastry brush as well. And then just dust any sugar off the side of your pan. That's what it'll catch, just like so. And now we leave it and don't mess around with it too much until that caramel starts to cook and darken and change colour. And once your caramel starts to bubble around the edges, just give it a little swirl just to melt the last bits of sugar. But you can see that's a beautiful, deep, dark caramel. That's what I'm after. Because our vanilla ice cream is quite sweet and we're frying it so it's quite rich, a bit of bitterness in our caramel is going to really help cut through it. Just now, swirl it around our pan and just use the heat left in that sugar to melt the last bit of our sugar like so. And then we can go in with some butter to turn our little toffee into a caramel. Heat off now, and once that butter's fully melted, add in some cream. Beautiful, rich Norco cream is going to make a lovely caramel. And then again at this stage, just mix it through and you'll see it'll cool down our caramel and turn it from hard, almost toffee texture, or like molten toffee, to a nice, smooth, creamy caramel. And at this stage, I like to hit it with a little pinch of sea salt as well. So we've got a salted caramel. Just keep mixing it until all that cream's combined into our caramel. Just gonna add a little tiny bit more cream in here, just so we get a nice pourable spooning consistency. There we go. Now, heat's off. Mix that last bit of cream into our caramel. You can see here now it's really cooling it down and making a nice, smooth caramel sauce. That looks awesome. One last mix to make sure there's nothing stuck to the bottom, and that's our caramel done. We'll just let that cool down, so I'll put that over here. We'll let that cool down, and now it's time to crumb our ice cream. So, crumbing station here, just like when you're doing crumbing fish fingers or schnitzel, you want flour, eggs, and breadcrumbs. Obviously, we're not gonna add any salt to this because we don't need to season it. I'm gonna get my ice cream out of the freezer. Right, so you can see we've got our ice cream balls here. They're nice and firm now, so we can start crumbing them up. Working pretty quickly, we're gonna start by dusting them in some flour and making sure it coats all of the bowl, and then dust the excess off, because that flour is gonna make the egg stick to the ice cream. And this is where I use 2 forks to just make sure we get egg all over our ice cream so we can get lots of our breadcrumbs stuck to the ice cream. Now I've got panko breadcrumbs here, so we get a really nice crispy, crunchy shell on the outside of our deep fried ice cream. And then we want to just coat it, make sure it's all coated, and then put a good pat so it really sticks to it. And we're going to double crumb this, so we're going to go back into our eggs to add a second layer, so we've got a really crispy, crunchy shell that protects our ice cream while it fries. And again, really make sure you press lots of those breadcrumbs onto your ice cream, just like so. There you have it. Crumbed ice cream, ready to fry. Now, so I'll work quickly, crumb the rest of our ice cream, and then we'll get them deep frying. And there you go, there's your ice cream scoops. Double crumb, so you've got that nice coating, so when we fry it, they're beautiful golden brown on the outside. It's still nice and soft in the centre. Now, you can chuck this into your freezer to freeze it and make sure it's nice and firm before you fry it. And if you're having a dinner party, this is something you can do a couple of days ahead. Get to this stage, have it frozen, and then you're gonna fry it from frozen. I've got my oil at 200 degrees, so nice and hot. It'll work quickly here, it's gonna happen really fast. Drop in your ice cream, and you're just frying it till it's nice and golden. It should take between 30 seconds and a minute. So you wanna have your tray ready to scoop up your ice cream once it's fried, and we'll get rid of our crumbing station. All right, you can see our ice cream is beautiful and golden. And what you see here is a couple of little pockets where it starts to melt through. We want to be really fast at this stage, get our ice cream out, and this is kind of like cook it and serve it straight away. So take our caramel, got our serving plate here, and I like to do just a little spoon of caramel in the center of our plate. You can see that beautiful, bitter, lovely caramel with that nice creaminess from our Norco cream. And then we take our deep fried ice cream, put it on top, and a little dollop of caramel just on top of the ice cream, just to catch our little bits of toasted coconut that's gonna go on top. And then I like a little extra pinch of sea salt. And there you have it. Now you're gonna serve that one straight away, so the ice cream in the center is still nice and soft. You got that beautiful crunchy shell on the outside. That is that Chinese restaurant classic deep fried ice cream using the Norco Cape Byron vanilla ice cream.